These American cars are just so electric, and that's the first thing that goes. There's no way I could probably ever open this door in an emergency.
Las lunas eran eléctricas, pero...
Sí, los eléctricos. Muy peligroso.
Sí. We started out with really high morale about 2 hours ago, and since then morale has just dipped. First we had problems with this car, the engine problems.
Oh no.
Then the exhaust fell off that car.
We just lost the exhaust pipe.
And now it's got a flat tire. And we've only gone about like 1 mile. We've got hundreds of miles to go today. And we're making really slow progress.
I'm getting used to Tahir's scattered way of approaching his goal. But how will I ever manage to weave Nazca and the mummies into the film? When I ask him, he brushed the question aside, saying we'll fix it with a line of voiceover back in London.
The Nazca lines are astonishing. They can only be seen from the air. A great culture existed here before the birth of Christ, long before the Incas. To understand the Incas, I'm convinced I have to go back in time. Got to learn about their ancestors. At midnight, we arrived at the home of grave robbers who live on the edge of an ancient cemetery.
It's not only a mummy, but it's a mummy bundle. I just love these things. Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, baby, look at it. The technique of mummification is exactly the same as the shrunken heads, like Cabiesa's shrunken head. You can see the lips have been sewed. It's got a suspension cord. The ears, the eyes and the ears are sealed, so it can't hear the people who are trying to. It can't be in touch with its people. And a warrior would have been buried with this. It's an extraordinary thing.
Oh, they have this here because of the long hair. So you got such a long hair, all these braids. Very long hair. Look at that. That's the idea of having this in the house.
We're climbing up now onto the plateau with the actual graves. There are tens of thousands of graves here. It's one of the biggest graveyards still in existence, the ancient Nazca culture, which has existed about 2,000 years ago. And you see, as soon as it's been taken out, animals have probably gnawed at it. I don't know.
Where's the hole here?
Oh my God, it's been killed. The guy's been killed.
Or maybe that was a brain tank.
Look at his skin. Look at his skin.
Yeah.
She brought us 2 heads. Here, 2 more heads.
Wow, look at that.
Can you smell the smell of the skin? And you can see the hair. It's just very delicate curls.
Look at it. It's wonderful.
There's some head and shoulders.
Torso.
Wow.
The breast.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
See? And there is no cutting. So everything was removed through the vagina.
Right. But look at the skin. You can see how the skin was...
Like a leather.
Yeah. Richard, what are you doing, man?
I'm getting some teeth, man. Relax.
Why?
For a nice necklace for Delicia.
I mean, you guys think I'm weird.
Hey, look, I've knocked real people's teeth out before, you know. I'm getting a few,
Well, it's a big man.
It's a man's arm.
Jesus, look at that.
Richard, that's in really poor taste. Richard's just faking.
Oh my God, I burned my arm in that fire, man. Like, oh, shit. Tu pensar para viaje en la selva una cabeza de mami es bueno en la mochila para suerte, para grupo, para expedición.
Estas cabezas mantienen el espíritu de la que cuando fueron en vida. Y hay que echarle un nombre. Se le pone necesariamente un nombre.
The question is to be debated. Would it help the film to have that head? A, it would be cool to have. B, Rodriguez says it will give us good karma. The bad points are we'd be arrested and thrown into jail.
If you take a head back, I think I'll walk out of the desert.
We desperately, desperately want a head. but I've got kind of a feeling that the guide...
Your guide, Carlos, said if the police are going to be waiting for us when we leave.
I'll just dream of my head, and I'll fantasize about my head, and anytime I want to see my head, I'll just come here and be with it.
And anytime you want to get some head, just go to Iquitos.
We're crossing the Andes to get to the Madre de Dios jungle. Tahir has popped some Indian sleeping pills. I've come down with a fever, and Richard's constant good mood is terribly annoying.
Oh man, if it gets any better, I don't know if I could stand it.
The next stop is Cusco, the former capital of the Incas.
I think that was the first time in history that a TV crew has traveled on a local bus with all their equipment. I think when we talk about Paititi, this is what I've got in mind. Vast, vast stone structures like that. We know Paititi was a huge city, maybe 3 or 4 times the size of Machu Picchu. It seems incredible that the jungle could overgrow a structure like this, but I think it's totally possible. All this was lost at one time, and it was covered in jungle. Here's Paititi restaurant. Maybe this is an obvious place to ask where Paititi is. We are searching, looking for Paititi.
Se dice que está en la selva peruana, por Madre de Dios.
Paititi, en las montañas.
¿Qué montañas? ¿Dónde exactamente?
En la selva.
Pero Paititi existe,
Existe.
¿Sí?
Existe.
¿Verdad?
Sí.
Sí, hay ruinas incluso forradas con puro oro.
Mucho oro, sí.
¿Existe, verdad? Mucho oro y plata.
Ajá.
¿Es un viaje muy peligroso?
Muy peligroso.
Oh my God.
Hay un problema invisible ahí, visible, fantasma.
Muy peligroso.
Are we sure that is the pinnacles? Are we completely sure?
I'd stake this whole expedition on that. If I'm wrong, you guys can just shoot me and leave me out there. That's where they're at. Well, I tell you what, here's something else. The stress of the jungle, the insects, the heat, the people getting stressed, that sometimes will make you change your mind, and that'll affect your decision. Like you'll say, oh, this is bullshit, there's no animals here, there's no city here, let's go back.
Yeah.
Don't get off the boat unless you're ready to go all the way. So you got to make a commitment when you go here to not get, whiny after 2 or 3 days and say, well, that's not here, let's go back. You have to tough it out. No wimps on this trip.
I've heard about a local Paititi hunter called Aparicio. He's a professor at Cusco University. We're going to meet him.
It's the most deep jungle in the area. It's very dangerous also to go in there. And a lot of people came to this area believing, and nobody has found anything. Myself, I went in a lot of expeditions in this area, and I believe it's nothing there.
I found Aparicio's book. It's a great breakthrough.
It's as if he's printed it in his back room or something.
Mentions locations, talks about a mysterious wall of petroglyphs deep in the jungle.
In the history of the New and Old Worlds, Gross Master of the Royal Order of Paititi.
2:30 p.m. I'm going to take Richard to force more information out of Aparicio.
What do the petroglyphs tell us? Do you think they are, of importance? Are they important in finding Paititi?
Yeah, most people believe that it's the door, at least it's the proof of the existence of civilization in that area. You can find the petroglyphs, and the pyramids are in this other tributary, I think, in this area.
The pyramids aren't here.
Yes. Huh?
They're in another
Where are
place.
they?
They're run right next to a mountain range. Every satellite photo, every helicopter shot shows that. They're not down in this flatland. They're up.
Well, okay. Well, you know better than me, I think.
But I've never been there, and you have.
Yeah, the problem with getting in the area is by the river, you can go just to this point.
You don't think Paititi is
Yeah, no.
You have a secret location.
Yeah, we have another location.
Can you tell us exactly where it is for our film?
Oh, well, there.
It's not the way.
That area there.